Welcome to a SimHERA tutorial on how to create cases in training mode. And for you instructors, in the assignment mode, there's a little added little bonus at the end on how to use your instructor license to create cases in assignment mode. But it's basically the same in training mode as in assignment mode. So one of the easiest ways to do it is to select a random infant case or a random adult case. So we'll just go ahead and do a random adult case, and it says this will create a new patient, delete all the files and information, continue. And there we go. New case created. Case ID is changed, different age. Now if you want to view what this case looks like, we just select the case review on, and you can see this case. We can see the patient information, patient history. You can type in here other factors if you want that to say other things. You can also select the different avatar images, and that will show up on the behavioral booth side of things. And we can see here that there is an asymmetrical loss for the left ear compared to the right. Now we can go ahead and check our thresholds. On the thresholds tab, here are the air, bone, effective masking, occlusion effect for the right and the left. Now if we're unsatisfied with this, we can select any other type of hearing loss that we want, or typical hearing, by choosing one of these buttons. If we select typical, that will update the audiogram to be a typical hearing for this individual's age. And we can see that those are now in the typical ranges. Or we can do a conductive hearing loss. And we can see this is a bilateral conductive loss. The air conduction thresholds for left and right are elevated compared to normal bone conduction thresholds. Sensorineural hearing loss, this is going to randomly select some configuration. And we have an interesting high frequency hearing loss with some lows elevated in the left. And we can do auditory neuropathy spectrum disorder, retrocochlear, and pseudohypoacusis. So I'll just click on the pseudohypoacusis just to demonstrate that. What that will be is that the true thresholds, which we are plotting right now, are lower than their behavioral thresholds. So click on that button to show that they have a pseudohypoacusis in the left ear, because those are elevated compared to the true thresholds. So that's what they will give behaviorally in response when you are doing your behavioral audiometry. You can also change any of these thresholds individually for the different types. So true thresholds, behavioral thresholds, acoustic reflexes for IPSI, contra, DPOEs, ECOG, ABR, MLR, CAPs, or steady state. You can also make those all consistent with the true thresholds. So if I go back to here and I just hit enter on any of those other ones, that's going to make them all consistent with the true thresholds, and hence no more of a pseudohypoacusis for this case. It's just typical hearing. We can also change those thresholds by drawing. Say we want to have something more specific to what we want. We click here, air left, and we click on that draw, and then we can click and draw whatever we like. And then set drawn. Right, if you draw a little bit too quickly sometimes, it doesn't like it. So just give it a sec. And there we go, set drawn. All the thresholds for the left ear are set. And because we had this thresholds based on true, all of them got updated. And then you can also do that for bone left. Draw a threshold and select some bones and set drawn. Now we've got an asymmetrical loss. So an easy way for you to quickly change the thresholds of a case. So we can do the thresholds. We can also change the psychometrics. So this is a psychometric curve, response probability by sensation level. So that's threshold here at 50%. And we can make them really, really excellent responders at threshold, really consistent, or we can change it so they're less consistent and even less and less reliable, less consistent. The other thing that we can change is the trial-to-trial variability, things like for coughing, and they might not hear the stimulus coming in for when you're doing behavioral audiometry. That shows the variability. We can change that down to 0 so there's no change over session time, or we can make it really drastic where they're having a lot of variability. Or you can also make it stable across the board of your session time. Then in tympanometry, we can change the admittance as well. These are the ones that are preset, predefined by the case, but you can also draw on here just like you drew for the thresholds. We can say, okay, we're going to draw our right one. Say we want a kind of a double peak here going on. We can draw a double peak. And then if we like that, if we don't, you can shift these things around a bit, change the profile of it. And then if we like it, click set. And now that is the admittance curve for the right ear when they're going to be doing tympanometry. We can then also select the compensated and uncompensated here as well. So that's how we can change tympanometry. There are also pieces of information for the auditory evoke potentials. Currently for ABR wave latencies, you can change these as well. So if we wanted to give someone a bit of a retrocochlear pathology, we can change wave 5, delay it a bit, and that shows that it's a 1 to 5 delay with approximately 12%. All of these are based on norms for Campbell et al. In 1981 for adults, and then if you're doing infants, it's for Egremont and Salome references. You can also set the steady state response parameters. That's in another video. You can check that out as well. So that's basically how you can simulate cases and change everything manually. Once you were done that and you feel, hey, I'm satisfied, we've got this asymmetrical loss, it's actually retrocochlear, and we've got some interesting tympanometry going on here. So we're satisfied with that. What we can do is check to make sure that the protocols are correct. Switch over to the Protocols tab. You can select from any default protocols. The current one that was selected for this case was medical legal based on the case history, which we can see here. Concern following a motor vehicle accident, so we're in a medical legal case. And the order is tympanometry, acoustic reflexes, behavioral threshold testing, and then CAPs. Now we can change these orders if you like. Let's say we want to do acoustic reflexes first and then tympanometry. You can go and reorder that before you save the case. So we'll just change this back to default here. If you select on each one of these, it will come up and tell you what type of measure that is going to be done and the order in which the testing should occur. So in this case, this is left ear, 226 hertz. Probe tone for doing tympanometry, and then the next condition should be right ear 226. And you can see the same thing for acoustic reflexes, and then behavioral thresholds. This is left ear air conduction 1000 hertz, left ear air conduction 2000 hertz, and there are default ones based on the ASHA guidelines, and then cortical auditory evoke potentials again. These are preset, but you can change these if you like. So left ear, that's 50 dB, air conduction 1000 hertz, brief tone at a rate of 0.5 per second, and then left ear 30. Now these are all set based on the individual's case's hearing status and hearing levels. Okay, so once you're happy with that and feel that's nice and complete, then we can go and save the case. So go up here and click on Save Case, and then pop up a window, and we will be saving it. You can save it to whatever you like. I usually like keeping that case ID, and it says training case. That's the training mode that we were in. So we'll go ahead and save that, and then we can load that in later on, or we can give it to a friend, or we can classmate and see if they can perform just as well. So that's how we can do it in training mode. Assignment mode is exactly the same with one little added thing. So if you're an instructor, keep on listening to the video. If you're a student, go ahead, go to the next tutorial, and I'll see you later. So instructors, stay on. So how to create a case in assignment mode is you go to assignment. Let's say we'll go to adult. Easiest way, just go there, create a current case, and you're done. You can review the case if you like. I'll show you that in a second. And you can also make all the alterations that you like. Okay, there we go. It's created a case in assignment mode. this is what the students would see, except they would not see the instructor view button because they don't have that. So basically it's the same as in training mode. We had a case review button here. Now it's instructor view. We're going to click on that, type in your password. All of that information can be now visualized and seen again. You can go and make all the same changes as we just described with cases in the training mode. It's exactly the same thing. This instructor view just allows everything to unlock when you're in assignment mode, so you can make all the changes. You can see this is another asymmetrical loss, likely retrocochlear in the right. Yes, it is. Change your temps, psychometric curves, everything like that that you wish to do here. And once you're done that, you can turn instructor view off and then click save case. And now you'll see that it saves the ID here. You can change that if you like. And it says assignment 1 case. So embedded in this saved .mat file is the actual code that says when the students load it up, they'll automatically go into the assignment that you saved it in. So assignment 1. So you can name it whatever you like. And the code is actually in the mat file hidden there. So we just go ahead and go save, and it'll save this case. And then we can come and we can go and load that case back up. It will load back up into the assignment mode. So you can send that to the students. They then do their assessment, and then they'll save that case back to a file, and then they'll send that to you, and then you could load that case back up and review it, and then again go to your instructor view, and I'll show that in a different video about how to view and grade the assignments, and then you'll get to see their case report, their behavioral tracking of their data, how they actually did the tests, as well as their test scores and protocols. Check out the tutorial for how to view assignments and grading. Okay, I hope you enjoy working with SimHERA and having fun learning and teaching, and I'll see you next time.